on again. Okay, are you able to get the thing?
I did join, but it's not shared chat, and it doesn't seem to be able to pull up your Twitch stream based on that previous link.
Why is it doing this to us? Okay, I'm going to end the collaboration. Restart stream together. What is going on here? Okay, I'm going to re-invite you with a new link. Let's try this time. What the hell is going on here? What do you mean the session has ended? It just started.
It shows that yours is live. So I don't know why it's saying the session.
What is going on here? Okay, I'm gonna go to see if my stream seems to be up. Is yours up? And mine's being unstable.
Let me.
Oh my
My
god, my
side is not
bitrate is
able to pull up
terrible.
your source.
Wait, what'd you say?
Not able to pull up your source for your perspective.
Oh no, are we gonna have to reschedule?
That might be for the best because it seems like there's some sudden technical difficulties that
We can't seem to get
are
a
going to
handle
take
on
a
these.
second.
Yeah, we.
Major technical difficulties have arisen. That's true.
Okay,
That's what's
so that
happening.
I put that in my chat and that showed up for you.
No, I have your chat opened up. It's not showing up in my chat.
Oh no.
Shared chat isn't working at this moment. It seems like I can enable it. I am currently unable to pull up your stream perspective in my OBS.
This is bizarre. What is going on here? Do you think we should reschedule?
Let me go ahead and see if this will fix something on my end. Okay, I was able to get your perspective again. So
Yeah,
I'm
my
gonna go
bitrate
ahead
just.
and bring this back over. And I'm gonna make sure to fix that. There we go. So now I can hear you. You can hear me.
I can
My
see
stream
you.
is working again.
Okay, my stream seems to be working, but stream together doesn't seem to want to work. So
Shared chat does not appear to want to. Oh, and now it's not working again. Wow! Thank you, Twitch.
wait. Okay.
Okay.
Why is it being this way? So stop that. Restart the virtual. What the hell is going on? It won't even. Confirm. Okay, how about now? What's my
How about
bitrate?
now? Well, now I hear you twice for some.
Okay.
Let me see if that's just something. On
Oh,
my
that's because I have the. I'm sharing the microphone and the audio. There we go.
Okay. I think we're good.
Are we back?
I think so. I
Yeah,
think
my
we're back.
bitrate
We're not
is.
sharing chat, but
Oh, finally, my bitrate's good again. Okay. And I think we're sharing chat too. Okay, wow. That
shared chat again
was,
because it seems to be being wonky.
yeah, no kidding. Okay, I think we're back. Wow. Yeah, Emo redeemed a healing potion for Twitch Plays D&D. That's funny. Good night, Emo. Okay. Anyway,
Good night.
I think we finally are back. I that was sorry about that, everyone. I don't really know what happened. I had to reboot my router and modem, and I have no clue what happened there. But we might be back. So, all right. What the heck were we talking about before we got cut off like that?
I'd like to note that shared chat is not currently sharing chat for me.
Okay, let me try that. There we go. I turned on shared
Okay,
chat.
we're good to go there. Perfect.
That was
Awesome.
weird. Okay, God, where the hell were we?
I remember we were discussing, or wrapping up discussing Space Station 13.
Right, right.
Or no, and we started talking about cooking and food processors. And I'm talking about hummus.
Oh no,
That's where
Twitch doesn't want us to actually talk about cooking.
Twitch said you're not in cooking stream info. You're in chatting. No talking about cooking. Not allowed.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're back to normal. That was strange. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, as we were talking about, you like cooking, and you were talking about like things like hummus and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I got a food processor. I was able to make hummus, and I'm working on making it better. I prefer it more mild. My girlfriend prefers it with a lot more garlic than I do, and so it leads to an interesting issue where I cannot make one batch of hummus. If I want to eat hummus, I have to make like my own hummus.
Yeah.
And then I have to make her hummus because her hummus is so much garlic that it burns almost how much garlic is in there. It's
wow.
an absurd amount of garlic, and she loves it. And she will literally she'll take it and add it to like other soups, other meals, like use it as a spread on some sandwiches, and I'm like,
wow.
I'm just over here trying to eat my hummus with my pita bread.
Right? Wow, some people really get into it. Do you remember that movie in the 2000s called You Don't Mess with the Zohan, where the guy literally brushes his teeth with hummus?
I am not aware of this, and that sounds terrifying.
It was
Brushing
good.
your teeth with hummus?
It was hilarious. Okay. So, one thing I like to do is I like to try frying chicken sometimes. That's kind of fun. I do this thing where I will first seal up the chicken on the outside with a light frying, and then I put it. I do a double layer of frying on the outside, but I don't do it for very long. And then I put it all in the microwave, and I listen to the sounds of the steam coming from the chicken in the microwave. And I just put it in for however long I think it takes, because I'm just listening to it the whole time. And I stop it whenever the steam might get a bit too intense or might be going for too long. And it comes out so tender, because I fry them when they're frozen. And that means it traps all the ice crystals on the inside, so it comes out really soft and tender. It's a lot. It's so good. I have to do that again sometime.
I don't think I have fried chicken once in my life. I put them in the air fryer, and I don't think that counts. I'm like, I just put chicken legs in the air fryer with some barbecue.
Hey, just like in that song, it doesn't matter what you drive, you just drive what you got.
I definitely do enjoy some barbecue chicken.
Hell yeah. Do you like spicy food?
I used to love spicy food. I used to be a big fan. And then during COVID, I kind of overindulged in a lot of coffee and energy drinks. And since then, my stomach has not been the same. And if I eat too much spicy food, I regret it for like days. So I keep it as a little side treat when I'm feeling up to it. But otherwise, I don't really eat as much as I used to anymore with spicy food.
I'm sorry to hear that, because I actually had to take a Red Bull in order to, be awake enough for this stream, because my sleep schedule's notoriously bad. So I hope me drinking Red Bull doesn't mess up my ability to eat spicy food, because I love spicy food. It's like a roller coaster for me. I'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings, say unironically, I want a plate of the hottest wings you got, and I want a glass of milk. And instead of just trying one and then hating it, I'll eat one, I'll enjoy the heat for a while, and then I'll drink milk just so I can recover, and then I'll just go again. So I might be a bit of a masochist when it comes to that, but that's pretty cool. Okay.
I don't really think I have any particularly crazy diets ever since my tummy's been messed up. I keep it pretty simple on my end, sadly.
I getcha. So let's talk about some of the games you like to play. It says here that you used to play World of Warcraft a lot.
I have played World of Warcraft on and off since my childhood. It's been one of the games that has constantly been in my life for, well, like almost forever, really. Like it started off with my dad playing vanilla, like me watching him play, or like, I think one of my earliest memories of WoW is my dad needed to step away to go do something, and he was like farming in the Swamp of Sorrows and vanilla on a mage. He was just like, hit these 2 buttons. If anything gets close to me, I'll be right back. And so I was just sitting at his desk, and I just was watching the game, and I was like, wow, that's a really cool game. Of course, I'm a child. I don't know anything about it.
Right.
But like from then on, I have been like interested in WoW. I play it a lot. I know a bit of the lore. I haven't read any of the books, which I do kind of want to read the books, but I have like, I've watched so many hours of just lore documentaries on WoW, just deep dives into things.
Wow.
Oh
wait, I just said the game name. But okay, that's cool.
It's definitely a very interesting game, and I love it dearly, and I wish I wish there wasn't a lot of things that happened in the game that do happen. And
I've been hearing some
I've
been hearing that WoW's been shedding a lot of players lately because of various updates that are not very popular, or various changes that have been made. Like Blizzard has the Blizzard of today is not the Blizzard of 2007.
It is not, sadly. That is very true. And I don't know if it's nostalgia, but you will find me like playing classic WoW more often than I am playing the current retail. And it's not because current WoW is bad by any means. It has a lot of good things, quality of life stuff built in now. It just, I feel like it's harder for me to find a sense of community in the current gameplay that is not strictly linked to repetitively farming the end game.
Yeah.
I feel like early WoW really had that, just the journey to getting to the end game had so many opportunities to like meet people, make friends, team up to like tackle challenging parts of the game, and it really made the world feel alive in a way that I just don't think that modern WoW really captures.
It went from being a game to becoming a job for a lot of people. Kind of like, because I was a RuneScape kid growing up, and back then, yes, people were a lot more having fun with the game. Nowadays, a lot of, especially in members RuneScape, people don't really socialize and hang out and talk that much in RuneScape, or at least in members worlds, unless you go to a specific, free world where everyone just is basically hanging out and talking. It's mostly just our job is the game, our job is the game, our job is the game, and it just doesn't feel as fun as I don't know, like say Second Life, where you can just where you're just hanging out. You don't have to have optimal strategies. You don't have to have all these kinds of things like that.
I don't need to log in for my dailies. I don't need to go farming for materials to make sure I've got the best potions and buffs for the raid that we do 3 times a week to try and progress. It gets old. The end game loop gets old for me. I don't enjoy it particularly, and it really pushes me away from the game. And like the whole reason I play the game is to hang out with friends.
Right.
And when it becomes like such a chore just to want to like, I play the game just hang out with friends, but to hang out with friends, I gotta do this like chores in this game.
Right.
That aren't particularly enjoyable to me.
I know exactly
what
you mean.
I feel bad. Like I want to hang out with my friends, but I don't want to do these chores.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that a lot of these MMOs sometimes feel like hanging out with friends with extra steps, and I just start to feel like, okay, what am I really accomplishing by doing all this extra stuff? Which is why sometimes I'll play a little bit of Space Station 13, but take a break for a while. But I might just cancel my RuneScape membership because honestly, I feel like people aren't as social there as they are in other places. Even though on a certain world they are, but the community is so it's such a hodgepodge because everyone who wants to socialize goes to one world, so you never really know what you're going to get, so it gets kind of confusing. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel as like I could get a lot more social interaction with a lot less effort going to Second Life or just hanging out with my friends for D&D than having to do all this stuff for like RuneScape. So I think I know what you're getting at.
For sure. I definitely miss D&D nights with friends and stuff like that. Much more exciting and not maybe easier to get into, but enjoyable than farming in a MMO. That's for sure.
Yeah, the grind is... I think I've gotten grind fatigue at this late in life, and that's the thing. Like, another thing you wanted to talk about was Warframe. And I tried logging... I used to play from, like, 2012 to, like, 2016-ish, and then I got, like, a certain injury that made it so that I just wasn't playing much online games anymore. And I enjoyed Warframe, but it was starting to get a lot of feature creep. And when I tried coming back to it, there was just, like, a million things that had changed, a million things that had been added, and I just felt lost. And I'm like, God, it's... And it started to feel like, okay, the game has gotten so complex now that maybe it's just not for me anymore. Because I feel like a lot of games feel pressured to keep adding new stuff. But I feel like in the process, they start making it so that, you know, a game becomes... In order to be good at a game, it has to become basically a job. And I feel like that's kind of like the death of a lot of online games, where either you can't just like it anymore. You have to either love it or you end up hating it.
Yeah, that's the real pain with some more modern MMOs. It definitely feels, like you said, like a job. It definitely feels like at times I'm playing the game and I sit there and I'm like, why am I playing this game right now? What am I doing? I could be doing something else more productive than playing this game right now.
Right?
And I don't want to feel like that when I'm playing video games. I'm
right?
playing video games to relax and spend time with my friends. And on like the terms of like Warframe, it definitely has some grindiness to it, you know. But I also feel like I don't know, not the price of entry, but just getting into the game and hanging out with friends is very easy, and like I feel like I could jump into anything in Warframe with friends, like just on a whim. Whereas there are definitely other MMOs that it feels more challenging.
I will admit that Warframe, it is easy to just do pick-up play with Warframe, which is not something you could do with most MMOs. With most online games, you have to do all kinds of obnoxious prep work, and it gets like, so annoying. But with Warframe, you can just, you know, take your build, jump into a thing, and just go. And I think, I have to wonder if Digital Extremes did that on purpose, so that way it doesn't feel like, oh, we can't go fight this boss right now because I have to go get the potions, I have to go get the magic rocks, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it's all these, I have to do this before I can have fun. And I get the feeling that they probably avoided that on purpose. Like, you can do a lot of prep work if you want, but I don't know, unless you're in the really late game, you probably don't have to do it all the time. Though I'm not an expert, so you might know more than I do.
I have too many hours in World of Warcraft. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little tired. Oh god, I hope my Red Bull's not wearing off. Okay, well let's transition from talking about some of these things to talking about something that's a little bit more serious. Let's get into some of the more deeper subjects. So, what exactly is important to you?
What is important, like, in general? Like,
yeah, what kind
overall?
of things do you value? What matters to ShuppyBot?
I feel like that's a really broad... That's a lot of things to consider all at once here. Huh. What matters? Well, starting out small, like, there's my personal life, stability in, like, just being able to be comfortable and, like, have friends and family and a career, like, stability there. But also, like, you know, I want my friends to be happy. I'd like there to be, a sense of peace. And it's just so broad. Personally, I value a lot of things, and I guess ultimately I would have to put up there like I really value my friendships, and time I spend with others is important to me. I feel like when it comes to people in general, choosing to like set aside time to spend with others is very important and like a very big deal, because I think it's really hard to you can't like fake that. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna put aside time to I don't like people don't do that. That's not something people do. It's hard to be disingenuous in choosing to be with other folks and do things. I really appreciate that kind of those kinds of friendships, and so there's that. I really appreciate that, value that highly.
I get you. I was actually thinking about, yeah, kind of what you were describing in terms of what you value kind of reminded me of something in philosophy called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know if you're familiar with this. It's a concept where at the very bottom you got your physiological needs, then you got safety needs, then you got love and belonging, then esteem, and then self-actualization. I have a little graphic up on the screen right now. And it's...
I'm a little familiar.
Yeah. I suppose I was, because I can definitely understand meeting basic needs. I mean, yeah, a lot of people can relate to that, of course. I suppose what I was talking about more was like the self-actualization stuff, the more like philosophical side of it, perhaps. Like what?
Oh, okay.
What are okay? Some people they might say a particular cause is like deeply important to them. What or they might say an ideal, like let's say kindness, even if it's not to your own benefit, or things like that might be important to them. And that's not to say that if that's not your answer, then therefore you must not value it. No. I'm saying these are the things that really move you, really motivate you, really encourage you, and really get you going.
That one's a interesting one to think about, and trying to think, what do I really value for like self-actualization? Well, that kindness to others, even if it's not like beneficial to oneself, is definitely one I practice, and I will be nice to people just to be nice. And like I don't know if it's silly, but I follow the like, you treat other people how you want to be treated yourself.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I feel like it's really, really hard sometimes, because some people you will treat nicely and they will not treat you nicely. And it feels kind of like, okay, well, if you're not going to be nice to me, why should I be nice to you? And I feel like that's a
Yeah.
really easy pitfall to like step into. And I really wrestle with that one. Um, I don't think that it's right to be mean to others just because they're mean to you.
Right.
Because it's, for one, you're sinking down to a lower level than you should value yourself at. You as an individual, I feel like people like, I definitely think I am a nice and good person, and I try be nice and do good, and that's who I am to myself. And I feel like my actions for the most part reflect that. And so I try to stick to that, even, in the face of others who would antagonize you or try to drag you down. It's like, it's not worth it to sink to their level. And I think it's important to stay true to yourself, and who you believe you are is very important. Self-identity is critical.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I definitely know a lot about being, how important it is to be yourself, considering, I transition and like I chase school. I think learning is critical, and, I am hopeful to constantly be chasing schooling, to always be learning new things and growing as an individual.
Okay, so I want to touch on something you just mentioned. You were saying who you are is important. So let me ask you, who is ShoppyBot? Who are you? And I don't just mean like, hi, what's your name? Like I was saying earlier. No, no, no. I mean like, who are you?
Um, I think I am as me. I'd like to think that I'm, a pretty easygoing, kind individual. I'm definitely a student. I hope to always be a student.
Hmm.
Um, I hope to continue to grow as an artist. I haven't been able to pursue that as much lately, and it does bother me. And, I like learning. I love drawing. I think learning about art is very exciting. But I do also love, like, more, what's it called? Like, STEM field related things. Like, I love math. I used to pursue higher math just for fun. Like, I was doing calculus just because I could. And I thought that was so cool. Uh, but I also feel like I'm pretty grounded in some ways. I don't know. I've had folks describe me as a dreamer, but I don't feel like I dream that big. Like I feel like my goals are pretty grounded in what I can do as an individual,
Sure.
and I like to think that I don't, allow others to stop me from chasing what I think is achievable.
Hmm. It sounds like one of the things that you value intrinsically is curiosity. You said that basically your part of your identity is being a student, and you hope to always be a student. So I would say that that sounds like curiosity in and of itself and learning are intrinsically important to you on a self-actualization level.
I certainly agree. I definitely think that being curious is so incredibly just it's important to me, but I also feel like it's incredibly useful and valuable to be able to, want to know and want to learn and, understand new concepts and just new things in general. And of course, you have to be alert and not, overstep any boundaries in curiosity because, everyone's got their, bubble, and there are certain topics that you certainly don't look into. So
Yeah.
it's being curious is good, but you also have to just, rein it in a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's one of my favorite bands ever. It's called Rush. I don't know if you've heard of them. There is a song called Subdivisions. In the song, they have a lyric that goes, "One must put." Oh, that's right. It was Limelight. My bad. It was Limelight. One must put up barriers to keep oneself intact. And I kind of feel like I vibe with that because just because you have barriers for your life and your personal space and things that you might value and limits and whatever doesn't mean you can't have gates in the barriers, as it were. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people, it's either all or nothing, either it's open or closed, but I feel like in some ways you can like open yourselves up to new experiences but also modulate how open you are about that. And I feel like a lot of people tend to get very binary about the state of how open they are to things. Some people are like, I don't want anything new. I don't like change. And some people, maybe they embrace change a bit too easily, and it starts to, basically make maybe they embrace change too easily to the point where they might become fickle. They might not stand for anything very resolutely. But as with all things, there's always the spectrum, of course. But it seems like not only do we live in very polemic times, but we also live in a species where a lot of people try to be very decisive, and that tends to, as a consequence, to lead to people being very polemic about their stances and even their identities sometimes. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I can definitely understand the concept of like people can approach things in such a black and white matter that they miss the whole fact that there is, shades of gray in between,
Oh yeah.
and, how you approach certain things in either like you have to have an open mind most of the time. But yeah, there are, of course, it's good to set boundaries and have stances that you will stand by. And sure, some people might call you stubborn for having a hard line, but there's also always a reason to have your own boundaries. Like you don't need to justify having a boundary.
Yeah, yeah. I think, well, metaphorically speaking, we could say that people have like their hard boundaries, with things like there's no crossing that for them at all under any circumstances. They got like their medium boundaries where they can excuse crossing it, but they'd rather people not. And then there's the soft boundaries where they themselves might not want to cross it, but they don't really care if other people do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's healthy to be, have your limits, but also be willing to have wiggle room.
Hmm. I guess that's one of the difficulties of life is figuring out what is that leeway, what is that wiggle room, what is how much do you bend before you break, as it were.
And that's definitely one of those questions where it's case by case, person by person,
Totally.
and that's really something that you kind of have to define yourself as, like, what do you consider like a breaking point? Like what's a hard no deal for you kind of situation.
Yeah, I get I've had friends in the past who turned out to not be that friendly, and they kind of ended up like walking on me. So I can definitely understand some things where I can definitely appreciate some bridges that get burnt. But I can't help but also feel like some people, when they have a bad experience, they withdraw perhaps a bit too quickly, and they're a bit slow to forgive, even if something bad happened to them that wasn't even with malicious intent, but it still had an impact on them. Like we were talking about, there's always shades of gray. Sometimes, yes, someone does something maliciously and it hurts a lot. Yes, absolutely. But sometimes I feel like people will do something more out of ignorance or incompetence than they will out of malice, but it will be taken as if it was malicious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got a lot of experience with that particular thing recently,
Oh,
and that one's a bit of a hot topic, but I feel like there are times where people will, you know, let things fester rather than talk it out or try to come to a resolution, and they'd rather ignore the problem until it becomes like this big topic. And I think it's, there are people who don't handle conflict very healthily, and it can
yeah.
lead to a lot of unnecessary burnt bridges and damage to relationships that could have been completely avoided had the issue been addressed promptly.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like in many of those cases that communication is absolutely key. I mean, that's kind of a truism. People always say that. But I mean, I think especially in those cases, because a lot of times drama, especially between like friend groups and whatever, tends to stem from people not sharing information or not being transparent. And it seems like a lot of people, they have like this reticence to sharing or being open, and sometimes that can create a kind of a death spiral in social circles where, because they're already so scared, they act a bit paranoid. They don't share, they don't communicate, and it makes people act in ways that triggers their fears even more. You know what I mean?
I've found that while that can be the case, that also oversharing will get you in hot water as well. Sometimes people just are tired of hearing about something if they're not entirely involved themselves.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's fair. But I also feel like in some friendships that if the response to a situation that is going critical is, I don't want to hear about it,
Mm,
uh, that's not great communication, because, like, okay, there's a problem happening in a friend group, and people don't want to talk about it, communication's already fallen apart there.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like there's no recovery without being open to talking. Like things don't just go away if you ignore them. Like sure, minor problems maybe, but even minor problems become big issues if they keep happening and nobody says anything. It's like that's just a complete failure in talking to each other and communicating properly.
I think there is this devious tendency of humanity to ignore problems until they become a crisis. Because it's like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh, it's not that big a deal. And then it pause up, oh, we can deal with it later. Okay. I mean, it blows up like, oh, how could we have foreseen this? Why couldn't we do something about this? You know what I mean? Kind of like how with infrastructure, people don't really do anything until it's a big problem.
Yeah, I could definitely on both those points. I'm like, when I moved out to Washington, Seattle was having some insane construction, and it felt like the city had waited until last minute to fix known issues. Where they have several bridges across the city. All of them underwent construction at the same exact time. And it's like, that is not good city planning. You don't put all your critical points here, bridges that connect the northern and southern half of the city, under construction at the same time.
Yeah, you'd want to do that on a rolling basis.
And so and in the social aspect, I have had friendships where things seemed fine. Like there may have been an issue at first that was then like discussed in a group and like things were okay and nothing was apparently wrong, only for months later you hear that, oh, there is something wrong, but you're not hearing it from the individual who has the issue. You're hearing it from a third party who heard about it. And
I have a very extreme personal example of that. This is a very personal and sad story. When I was in college, there was a girl that I went out with a few times or whatever. It didn't work out between us for reasons and stuff, but we remained friends afterwards. Then after an extended period where we hadn't really talked in a little while, I get a call from someone who was a mutual friend, and in tears they say that person had taken their life, and that just blew me away, because this was a person who was we weren't romantically involved, not anymore. Before it was more just just trying things out, but then we went to become friends in our little D&D group and stuff, and then just to suddenly hear that not only were things bad, but they had just decided to end it all, that was world shaking, to put it mildly. And
yeah, that is some serious, like, really sad, because I mean, I feel like in those scenarios it's hard to look back on things and not question, like, what if I was in that situation, I'd be like, what did I miss? Or,
right,
should I have known? Was there more I could do?
Oh yeah.
But like ultimately, those questions, while they will always arrive, it's not necessarily healthy to think about them, because like you're not a mind reader, and
oh yeah.
you can't know everything, and you can't be there for everyone on a whim, and so it's not something you beat yourself up over, but it is something you can be sad about. It's not bad to grieve, and it's not bad to feel sad, but it is bad to beat yourself up over things you had no control over.
That's one of the things I struggle with my anxiety and depression, is that I will take on a lot of more burdens emotionally than I really should, and then I'll get upset with myself when I can't fix them or do something about it, even though it's obviously something that I can't change to begin with, so I should never have taken on that emotional burden. But yeah, it's yeah. Like, for example, I'll also be thinking about things that happened in the past, and I have such a hard time forgetting that, because I'm also very sensitive to being scolded. So I've taken to, like, scolding myself personally, like on a mental level, and therefore my self-talk is absolutely terrible. And
I definitely know about how hard it is to like control that negative self-talk. I have friends who do it. You know, I used to be really bad about it until I took this perspective where ultimately, like, in this, planet we live on, in this world, in this life, nobody has to be kind to one another. So the least you can do, be kind to yourself at the very least. Because, if there's nobody else who's going to help you, you can at least help yourself and, lift yourself up. And that's really, really hard to do. It's an incredibly challenging skill to like pick up and to learn. But I find that like if I ever have thoughts where like I feel like I am like picking on myself or like, trying to find flaws within my character or actions, like it's one thing to be introspective and it's another to tear yourself down.
Oh yeah.
Like you have to find the balance between learning from mistakes but also being like, kind enough to give yourself that leeway to understand that like, yes, I made a mistake there, or I'm just learning, or like, some people have, mental health problems that they're grappling with, that you can't like hold yourself to these like standards that people may usually have. Like the obviously there's like this like line of like this is like the normal what expectations or whatever. And to like hold yourself up to those or higher all the time when you are struggling with other things in your life, it's like you need to give yourself some breathing room. You can't always be at 100%. Some days you can only give your 10%, and that's completely fine. That is totally okay. And you can't be like mean to yourself about it. Just one of those days, it happens. And then, next day you might be feeling like, 50% or like 30%. It's like the fact that you are here is more than enough. You don't need any other reason to be like happy. Like you should take care of yourself because you deserve it. And it's like a lot of the self-motivational, like, you don't need an excuse to live kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's, I don't know, I don't want to be too, like, what's it called? I'm not trying to be preachy.
Right.
I think it's good to recognize that everybody has their own struggles and their own demons, but also everyone deserves to be kind to themselves and shouldn't be so hard on themselves all the time.
I agree with what you're saying. I think this ties back to what we were saying with boundaries, because I feel like, to be cruel to yourself is to violate a boundary of yourself with yourself. And I think, what you've been saying is making me think a lot. I wish, coming to a mental realization was the same thing as coming to an emotional realization, or could be at least. But, it's a lot of work between, what your mind realizes is true and getting your heart to accept that too. You know what I mean?
Definitely. There are certainly days where I'm like, I know things to be a certain way. That doesn't mean I feel like that's right, or
oh yeah,
like, there can be times where it's like something, but that doesn't line up with your feelings exactly. And that's okay. People are human, and we have all sorts of crazy things going on in our bodies and our minds and
our lives.
and our lives. Like, not everything's gonna match up 100% of the time, and that's okay. It's not a personal failing. It's just part of being human and being alive.
That's the thing I struggle with, is because I would love I feel bad anytime I miss a stream or cancel a stream or whatever. Like, part of me really wants to stream regularly, like the big time streamers do. I don't know how they do it. I wish I knew. I don't know how they just pull themselves up together and get so motivated and just, get put on the happy face and do all that stuff. I don't know how they do it. I wish I knew, because I'd like to do streaming more often. I like doing all this, but I feel just drained from this, because for now I can be kind of energetic and try to have some showmanship, but I know for a fact after the stream I'm going to be exhausted emotionally and mentally, and I'm going to want to probably sleep. And I guess that just means I'm just intrinsically an introvert, but I have goals for myself that I want to set and that I want to do. But then I get disappointed in myself when I don't meet those goals. And I guess I just gotta wonder, well, what are realistic goals for myself? Because, yeah. Maybe I'm too hard on myself because, it's not like it's my literal job or whatever, but...
I think it's important to recognize that, for some of those big streamers, like, it is a job.
Yeah.
It's showmanship, But, there's also, like, those middle ground where it's like, yeah, it's a hobby for them. And I don't know how they do it. They don't, they show up so frequently. But I also have a lot of friends that are kind of in that, like, that in-between, like, where they're becoming a bigger streamer. They've got, like, Twitch partner. But they're also, they're not pulling the hundreds to thousands of viewership that, those crazy big streamers are. But they've got, that good viewership level. And they still view it as like a fun hobby. And for those people, I know for a fact that it's a lot of hard work off of stream, putting time into getting things like sorted out for like having fun activities or fun redeems or adjusting your layout to make things look different and look cool and have exciting things for people to come to every stream and be happy about, like, interacting with. Or it's also, they can take days off and they don't beat themselves up over it. And it's important not to let yourself feel too bad about taking a day where you just cannot stream because you can't bring yourself to, like, put on that, like, streamer persona or whatever. Like, I try very hard to be honest with myself when I'm streaming, and, like, I do recognize I do kind of put on, like, a little bit of a show, a little bit of a, it's like something about streaming brings out, like, some level of trying to be exciting and, like, have this, like, interesting personality.
Right.
But there's also, like, you're a person outside of stream who has outside of stream problems, and those can impact your streams. And sometimes you don't want to bring that into stream, so you take the day off, and you shouldn't feel bad about it.
Yeah. I think you're giving me a lot to think about, Shuppy. I really appreciate that. I'm supposed to be interviewing you. It's almost like you're interviewing me. I love it. Okay. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Well, I also hear that you like artwork. So I'm interested to hear more about how your sense of meaning, your sense of self, and all that stuff interacts with your creative side.
I really wish I could say I've put, like, some soulful pieces out there, but really my relationship with art is more for, like, attached to it as, like, a hobby and for fun, and not super. I don't have, like, a super personal connection to my art. One of my most popular art pieces ever was made as a little joke for myself to enjoy. And I've made it a emote on my channel, and it is one of my most popular emotes. People recognize me by it. I will go ahead and send it to you.
Okay, hang on a second.
I'm like, it's my Shuppy silly emote.
Aww, it practically looks like Moodang. I love it.
I'm like, I have adored, like, those silly little cat memes. The essence
I love
of the
those
internet, pictures of cats.
Have you heard that memes are the language of the soul?
Yes.
I love that. Sometimes it really just feels true. Hang on, I just need to stretch a second here. Ugh.
I do have some more.
Ugh.
What's it called? I have examples of like when I was in school for art and those like drawing classes I took, and those feel more like studying
Ooh.
the what's it called? Like foundations of drawing and like what when you get down to the nitty gritty, like what is art technically?
Can I share any of these
Like
on
what?
screen?
Yeah, go ahead, feel free.
I'm going to share this
Um,
colored still life you did.
Like I've messed with several mediums when I was in my drawing classes. A lot of it was early on. It was just a lot of charcoal and graphite stuff.
You were a messy fingers artist. I got you.
But then later on, it became more like ink, and then pastels, and we did some watercoloring. I really so that piece, I had a lot of help from my teacher. I wish I could say most of it was me, and I mean most of it was me, and I'm really proud of that. But when it comes to like some of the shadows on there, she had to really like sit with me and like get me to understand how light works off of other surfaces and how it interacts with shadows and how color can like pop from
Well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing
where
because it
I'm
means the teacher not only got to enjoy teaching a student who was willing to listen, but you also got to learn about something that you might not have considered before. So I call that a win for
it
both
was
of you.
it's definitely a very good class. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was like twice a week, 4-hour sessions of that kind of drawing and sitting and studying for so many hours. That piece up there, I think, was over the span of like a month. And so that was what, 8, 16, 24, 32 hours I put into that, which is like crazy to think about.
Wow.
And I do love that piece. And I have it with me in my closet. It's in my closet with my other projects.
Shuppy, it's okay for your expression to come out of the closet. It's okay. It's safe here. You can be. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I'm certain my girlfriend, who I know for a fact that she wants me to take my art supplies out of my closet and draw some more and do more like landscape. Like the framed picture I sent you,
Ooh,
that was
okay.
a mixed media that I actually had submitted to a local fair, and my father loved it so much that he has it hanging up in his office.
Aww.
And it's just a like an ink and watercolor and chalk. Actually, there was some chalk used on it, and it's a picture of his that I had asked for and then made art of.
Here, let me get that on
Teacher
the
really
screen.
liked it.
Let me get that on the screen. Just a second. But yeah, that's really cool. I should really do some more art myself, because one thing I like to do is I love making maps. I don't know what it is about me. I can't explain it, but I just intrinsically like making maps. But like fantasy style maps. Or just, making up my own buildings or making up stuff like that. I just, like, legit cartography is observing stuff and then writing down, basically drawing your observations in a way. But I like designing maps. I like, designing worlds and stuff like that. I've always enjoyed that. So, I mean, maybe I should do a few more art streams. Maybe that would be a good way to mix things up.
So you like being a DM?
Oh God, yes. I'm a perma DM. I've tried being a player for D&D, and it's not the same. I just don't enjoy it as much. I just don't. I much prefer making my own worlds and basically helping people get a tour of them through D&D and stuff like that. I have a lot more fun doing that.
I'm like, I like being a player in D&D. The work that goes into being a DM is just hurts my brain. I've tried it several times. It's too much for me to take. So I let other people who enjoy it handle that, and I will just be a silly little player. I will play my wizard and say, I don't care how big the room is. I cast fireball.
Do you play as a kobold?
I can when I am able to. I'll do that when I
can. Race, kobold. Class, kobold. Alignment, kobold.
Pure kobold. We're giving it 110% kobold here.
Oh my god. We have a kobold in the D&D group that I run, and they're the shortest of the group, obviously. And so we're always making jokes like, carrying them in a baby carrier, or carrying them on our back and stuff like that. It's just because they're just heckin' adorable.
Little itty bitty kobold.
Kind of like how your avatar is just like a little guy. It's just a little, little munchkin. It's
just a little guy.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. This was good. This is good. I actually really enjoyed talking to you about a lot of that stuff. There is another tradition we do at the Sometimes Show. Usually by the end of it, we do a little bit of a quiz or a little bit of a game show segment. Would you care to do that?
I'm shup for it. I'm shup for a little game show segment.
Okay. What kind of quiz would you like to have?
Are there topics to pick from?
Oh yeah. I basically go to Google and just look up trivia questions about something.
God, trivia questions about stuff. I'm horrible at trivia.
Uh-oh.
I'm like Jackbox Party Nights. I am.
At least you can admit it. A lot of
trivia.
people come on here. A lot of people come on here saying that they know a lot about a topic, and then I bring up trivia about that topic, and then they do really badly at the quiz. So at least you can admit it. Some people can't, it seems.
Okay. If we're gonna go based on a topic that I at least know stuff about, I'm gonna have to say World of Warcraft or.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm somewhat confident in. I'm like, you ask me questions about WoW, I will probably know the answer.
Okay, let me look up World of Warcraft trivia. Let's see what we got. 100 World of Warcraft trivia questions and answers. Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's see what we got. Okay, some of these are probably gonna be very easy for you, even though I dabbled in WoW for a day. It wasn't quite for me because at the time I had a potato computer. But let's get started with the trivia section. All right, where's the? Oh, there it is.
I'm ready to fail the first question now that you've said they're going to be easy.
Okay, question number 1. What is the highest peak in Azeroth?
The highest peak in Azeroth?
Mm-hmm.
That has to be... Okay. If I don't think about the Broken Isle, because I don't think the highest peak is there. I want to say it's Mount Hyjal. I want to say that's the highest place in Azeroth.
Final answer?
Yes. Final answer is going to be Mount Hyjal.
It's actually Mount Neverest in Kunlai Summit.
What? That's in Pandaria? That's the highest place? You know what? That makes sense.
I can't believe they have a Mount Neverest instead of Mount Everest. My god. That's funny.
There's freaking lore master side quest stuff that you can go there for, and its whole point is that it's really tall. I did not think of that. Ugh.
Okay, question 2. Who is the final boss of the Blackrock Foundry raid?
Blackrock Foundry. I think that's from Draenor. I think it's just... What's his name? Is it just Blackhand? No, what's his name?
You're right, it's Blackhand.
Oh, okay. So it is just Blackhand. I was like, God, I didn't run that raid. I don't remember.
Okay. Question the 3rd. What Dragon aspect's name means time in Draconic?
Oh, is it Nozdormu?
Yeah, wow, you aced that one. Okay, question 4. Who is the current leader of the Undead Forsaken as of Shadowlands?
As of Shadowlands, it's the Triumvirate or the Council. It's got, let's see, Liana? I always mix up her name. I know it's Voss, and then there's there's 4 of them. I know Kalia Menethil's on that team.
That's the answer.
Wait, she's the leader?
Apparently.
What? It's supposed to be a group. It's a group. There's 4 of them, but she's kind of a
They're
big
equals,
character
but
in
she
it,
is the
so.
most equal.
She is the most equal.
I don't know any of these things, but your reactions are funny. Oh god. I'm sorry, but your reactions to these are actually pretty funny.
Like these quizzes. They don't even know.
Which old god was killed by titans and buried in a prison deep beneath the land that would become the desert of Silithus?
Oh, that's Cthulhu.
Reveal answer, please. Yep, Cthulhu. Oh, instead of Cthulhu, it's Cthulhu. Wow, these names are so inspired.
Yes, a lot of the old god names are just slightly adjusted Lovecraftian horrors.
Wow.
Yep.
Which boss ends the Ice Crown Citadel raid? Actually, yeah,
that
I
one's
did
easy.
I did know this one. I knew this one. Wow, somehow.
I'm like, that's the Lich King.
Yep. Even I somehow knew that one. Even I somehow knew that. I don't know. Okay. In which expansion... Oh, I might know this one too. In which expansion was the monk class introduced?
Pandaria. Mrs. Pandaria.
Yeah, I had a
Easy.
feeling. What is the capital city of the Nightborn Elves?
Oh, the Nightborn. God. I have to remember this one. It was such a good city campaign. I think the city is called Suramar. I know that the region is
you got it.
Suramar, but I think the city is too. Yay!
Oh, the region, the city has the same name, so it's like Planet Vegeta, owned by Vegeta, father of Vegeta. It's like
Exactly.
My son, the planet. You ever watch Team 4-Star? Like, my son,
Yes,
the planet, or
bit.
me? I love that channel.
I love that channel. Yep, some good stuff there.
Yeah. Okay, question 9. Which legendary two-handed sword is dropped by Illidan in the Black Temple?
It's not even a sword, though. It's the glaive of Azeroth.
It's called the Twin Blades of Azeroth, but I'll
Okay.
let it slide.
I was gonna say, why he has 2 glaives, and they're considered war glaives now. Or maybe they were swords back then?
I don't know. Number 10. Who was the first paladin in Azeroth?
The first paladin. God, I want to say it's on the tip of my tongue because it was related to one of the recent expansions that they talked about it. God, I am struggling with this one.
Holy crap! This is a long. Oh wow! That's a long answer. This is a hard one.
It is because I'm trying to remember it because one of the zones has a group based on him, and I can't remember his name. What are the first paladins? What was it?
Are you gonna punt on this one?
I have to just say I don't remember right now.
Okay, here's the whole thing that it says in the answer section. Archbishop Alonzus Fail, or F-A-O-L, Fall, whatever, is considered the founder of the original Order of the Silver Hand and thus the first paladin.
Okay, that's that's kind of funny because I did not think of him because he's a priest in the game.
Yeah.
And to think that because he founded the order, he's the first paladin is so okay. Sure.
Alright, number 11. In which zone is the Temple of Atal Hakar located?
Temple of Atal Hakar? Oh, isn't that in Stranglethorn Vale? I think it's an STV. That's my final answer.
It's the Swamp of Sorrows.
The swamp was. Oh, I'm silly. I was thinking of a different temple. Yeah, no, that checks out.
Okay, here we go. Number 12. Which of the Wind Runner's sisters became the Dark Lady of the Forsaken?
Oh, that's Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Sylvanas Windrunner.
Yep, you got it. Also, can I just mention something about character design in this game? It seems to me that the more powerful you are, the bigger your shoulder pads.
Yes. True. So true. I think it's great. I think it's funny.
So then, if you have a literal god in here, they have shoulder pads that are literally twice the size of their body.
Huge shoulder pads. They're
Okay,
so cool.
I have to look this up. Okay. Biggest pauldrons in WoW. I have to see this. Holy God! Okay, I have to send you this.
They're huge.
This is hilarious. I'm sending these images to you because this is just funny. You gotta wonder, like, I wonder if these are either shopped or modded, but at some point I kind of don't care. Because it's just too funny. Oh, come on, open up.
The most ridiculously oversized pauldrons.
Like, shoulders are kind of important, but they're not that important. They don't need this much armor. Like, even Warhammer 40k would be like, bro, what?
I'm pretty sure the second and third image are edited, but that first one I'm pretty sure is very real.
It might be a mod. You know, I'm gonna actually put that on the screen because you guys gotta see this. This is funny. Okay, save image as. Boom. All right, this will be funny. Like, what even? What even? Like, even a world like Warhammer 40k, which has giant shoulder pads, would be like, okay, buddy. That's just really funny to me.
That I bet is like a hunter set too, because hunters have some pretty absurdly large shoulder pieces.
It's practically a cape. Alright, so, question 13. Who did Arthas Menethil kill to become the Lich King?
Oh, I think it was Nazgul? No, not Nazgul. What am I saying? That's a Lord of the Rings. What's his name? Crap. I can remember, I swear. I just remember that his name... I know he's originally an orc shaman, and then he becomes the Lich King. And... Or unless... No, it's probably more simple than that. It's probably just his freaking dad or something.
Do you want me to say the name?
Yeah, just tell me.
Ner'zhul.
What do they have for... Okay, so it is Ner'zhul. Then yes.
Also, I just had a really funny idea. Imagine taking a little gnome, something small, some small playable race in World of Warcraft, okay? And you give it the armor with the biggest shoulder pads you can find. But it's not scaled down to that of a gnome. It's scaled to that of a really large creature. So all you see running around are 2 shoulder pads on the ground and a helmet between them.
Unstoppable. Unkillable football.
That would be so funny. Okay.
That's how it feels playing a gnome warrior.
Oh my god. Okay. Question 14. What is the name of the Horde's airship that crashes in the Lost Isles?
The Horde airship that crashes? I have no idea.
Like an armored room. Yes, exactly, Spiper.
I have zero idea what the name of that airship was.
Oh, better yet, Spiper. Instead of a helmet between the pauldrons, they're like sitting between the pauldrons underneath it, and they just poke a 2-handed sword out the top, through the gap between the pauldrons, and then all they do is just vertical chops from between the pauldrons. So you take the biggest sword you can find in the game, and you hand it to them, so that this little tiny little guy is carrying a sword that's as tall as a building or something. Do you got an answer for the question?
No, this is another one that I'm stumped on. I don't know.
Okay, it's called the Skyfire.
I have no idea where I've heard that before.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know.
I'm going to go to number 20, but question 15 is, who is the elemental lord of fire?
Well, that's Ragnaros. Easy.
Oh god, here's the more uninspired name. So instead of Ragnarok, it's Ragnaros. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So, I mean, okay. Some of these names are just like, really? It's like saying, it's not Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Sanic the Hedgehog. Huh?
Sanic.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to put that picture up on the screen. Yes, there we go. I got it.
Soon, Executus, too soon.
Wait, there's a place called the Sonic Oddities Wiki. What the hell? I had no idea. I mean, I knew there were a bunch of weird horror stories from the Sonic fandom, but I didn't know that there's literally a wiki for the oddities of the fandom. Holy crap. Oh my god. Oh, this is great.
Sanic. There he is.
There's the boy. Okay. Okay, number 16. Who became the aspect of magic after the deaths of... Well, that's an inspired name. Malagos. You know he's a bad guy if he has the name Mal in his name.
That was... How am I forgetting his... There were so many memes about him because he was eating soup in one of the recent expansions. I think it's Caligos?
Hang on, I gotta look this... no. It's, yes, Caligos. So, it's Kalecgos. Okay, hang on a second.
Yep. Calic.
He's watching his calories.
Are you looking for the soup where you're sitting and eating soup?
Yes, there it is. There's it is. I think this is it. Copy image. I bet this is what it is. I don't know. I'm not from the WoW community, but...
Yes, that is him eating soup.
He's tilting the bowl while he eats. How is he doing that?
Look, he's the aspect of magic. He can do what he wants.
Okay. I don't understand. I mean, hey, my character's supposed to be a magic dude too, but I don't know if I'm gonna burn mana on just making sure I can just casually eat a bowl of soup and not hold it upright. I mean, is it worth the trouble?
Soup time.
Okay, alright, whatever. Number 17, what's the name of the legendary staff that can be assembled by collecting fragments in Cataclysm expansion raids?
Oh, that in Cataclysm? That's gotta be... What was it called? Is it Dragon Wrath Staff of Taragosa or something?
Yeah, it's called Dragon Wrath Tarragosa's Rest. So you were pretty close.
Yeah.
Number 18, which creature type is Illidan Storm Rage?
What creature type is Illidan?
Yeah.
Probably... I mean, like humanoid, but I guess demon? I suppose he would be demon.
It says Night Elf Demon Hunter.
Night Elf Demon... That's his creature type?
Yeah. Okay, number 19. Who was the king of Stormwind during the events of the Cataclysm expansion?
That's a Cataclysm. I want to say... Was Varian not there during Cata? Because if he wasn't, then... I don't remember the events of Cataclysm. I want to say it was Varian Rin, but that might be wrong. There's so many people who have been sitting on that throne. That's it? Okay, perfect.
Okay, number 20. This will be our last question, then we can call it from here. What race are Ner'zhul and Duratan?
Oh, they're orcs.
Yep, you got it.
Easy.
Well, I had fun. I was trying to run out of gas. I don't know about you. Unfortunately, this stream got fragmented, but that was beyond our control, kind of.
Somebody was chewing on the wires.
Yeah, something like that.
Look at me.
Something like that. Wait. Oh, no. Wait, what is? Why is there like a big chunk missing? Please tell me we didn't drop a whole section.
No, I think it got split into 2.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I can save this in post. Anyway, so the last thing we do, well, first off, I want to say thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your community with us, and thank you for talking to me about all my silly questions and stuff.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. The last little tradition we do at the Sometimes Show is the guest gets to pick who we raid.
I get to pick who we raid? Also, what is this chicken Caesar salad in Las Vegas?
Oh, God. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not hear it.
Oh, maybe it's better that you didn't hear that, because that's a really cringy sound redemption. Oh my god.
Okay, if I had to pick someone to raid, I have a friend who I would like to raid and say hello to. His name is Renzi.
Okay, I'm
his
opening
Twitch is Renzi TV.
Okay, I'm opening this up. Okay, can you dictate that, please?
I can actually just. Here we go.
Okay, that's not how I would have. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I asked. Okay, so boom. The Sims 2. I already kind of like their taste in games.
This is their comfort game that I've heard of, and they are very interested in playing it right now. So I want to
Cool.
catch them playing it.
Okay, what's the raid message?
Raid message. That's a good question. What do you have a Sometime Show raid message?
No, I mean, I'm saying you get to set the raid message.
Oh, I usually hit people with some sort of silly emote, and then like a message related to their stream.
Oh, wait, maybe if it's related to the stream, we could say, "Don't delete the pool ladder."
Please don't delete the pool ladder.
Okay. Please don't delete the pool ladder. Okay, guys, I'm gonna post this in chat. This will be our raid message, okay? So we got 8 people ready to go. I want to say thank you to everyone who came by, and I want to say thank you to Sheppy. And I hope you guys all have a good time with Renzi, all right? We're gonna raid
Y'all
in.
have a
Go ahead.
good time.
Yep. Raiding in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, we have raided, and now I'm going to. Boop.
I'm gonna stop my stream.
Same.